Hi there everybody. Well, I'm doing a morning video. Don't normally do morning videos, but it is a lot cooler here in the mornings, so hopefully you won't see me sweating and suffering quite as much on the video. Possibly I want to have a bit of a gripe today maybe. It's something that I think has been bothering me for a while, and certainly one of the videos that I planned to record when I started the channel. I've just waited a little while to get us going before complaining. Look, I'd like to go back to last summer. I was with a group of teachers in Limerick with Pilgrims, the teacher training outfit, and these were advanced speakers of English, successful users of English. Their English was excellent, and they were with me to look at techniques to teach advanced speakers of English. So we were doing half methodology and half language development. So we've got advanced speakers teaching advanced speakers from all over, mostly all over Europe. We had teachers from Finland, Austria, Luxembourg, Holland, Germany, and more in the same group. And one day somebody said, teacher, what do you call detergent? Can I call it detergent? You know, the stuff that you wash the plates with. And I said, yeah, I think you can. And they said, but I've also heard it called dish soap, which is correct. I said, well, I think they're both correct. In fact, personally, I'd call it washing up liquid. That's what I grew up calling it in my little neck of the woods in Lincolnshire, UK. And then we made a list. Other people started joining in and saying what they called it. I think we had liquid detergent as well. And we realised they were all possible. There are, as our man David Crystal says, there is not one English, there are many Englishes. English is spoken all over the world by many, many people. And this is a thing that I would like to emphasise. Because over the years, I've had many students come to me and say, oh, my last teacher said that this is wrong, or my last teacher said that you can't say this. And it's been something that quite clearly you can say, and that over my 50 years on this planet, I've heard lots of people say. It's like, well, yeah, you can say it, yeah. So that's the point of this video, is urging people, before we tell our students, don't say this, you can't say this, this is wrong. We really need to check. If we're a non-native speaking teacher, we need to check. If we're a native speaking teacher, we need to check. It's all the same. No one person can be omniscient and have this global knowledge of what everybody says in English all over the world. I know very little about how New Zealanders speak English. I know very little. I've never been to the States. I don't know American English. I can try to find out. I can try to be aware, which I should, and I do. But the moment I say, no, we never say that, then somewhere a little warning bell has tolled, because I may be wrong. A couple of years back, I was watching some YouTube clips, and there was one of these YouTube teachers of English, not methodology, just things that, clips that students can go on who are learning English to try and improve their English. And the clip was entitled, Don't Say How Are You? And I thought, what? I mean, again, alarm bells started ringing. And it was one of these teachers basically was telling people not to say, how are you, because she didn't like the sound of it. No other linguistic basis, and no factual scientific basis. Just said, don't say how are you, it needs to go. And then sort of mimicked it, how are you, and then offered some alternatives. I thought it was highly irresponsible and just poor practice, really, because how are you is a perfectly fine. It's a perfectly fine piece of language that millions of people say. And actually, if you do a search, don't say, how are you? You'll find dozens now of these sort of so-called English language teachers. And I think they're just doing it for maybe clickbait or to get more, to get more views, to create some sort of polemic where there isn't a polemic, or polarity where there isn't polarity. It just seems silly, and it seems poor practice to me if you're a teacher to tell students not to say something that is perfectly fine language. And the other thing is, whenever you have a native speaker saying, we don't say, you have to question that, because no one speaker, whether they're native or not, can be representative, like I say, for the whole English language speaking community. No one person can know. So when they say we don't say, who is we? Is it just them in their little world? Or have they actually researched this language, which really isn't the case? I saw another one. It was don't say you're welcome, and the presenter, he was offering all sorts of alternatives, which, to tell you the truth, I'd never heard before. I mean, I'm sure somebody does say them somewhere. Again, I'm not discounting them, but what I object to is the don't say, we never say, it's wrong. And going back to the classroom, I think, again, you can actually, I had a very advanced speaker of English recently, I can't remember what the item was, I wish I could, say to me, oh, my teacher told me it was wrong once and I'd always thought it was wrong. I mean, you plant these seeds of doubt in a learner's mind, and they're there, they can be there for years. So that's the point of this message. Please, I'm not so bothered about the online English language teachers, but real English language teachers in classrooms, please, guys, before you tell a student that we don't say something or it's wrong, you need to check it and make sure that somewhere someone isn't saying it. Obviously, sometimes the learner will come at you and with a completely agrammatical phrase and say, oh, but isn't that, and then they'll say a form of English that they know isn't probably the one so I will to go. Oh, but that could be American English. No, I don't think it's American English either. I just think it's I will go. So, students will try and sidestep around occasionally. But in general, if they come at you with a different word for something that you haven't learned, something that you didn't grow up speaking or learn when you were learning English, let's open the doors to possibility a little bit and do a little bit of in-class exploration with them. We can look at it and we'll find out, because the language is evolving and growing around us, and sometimes we might be surprised. So, strength and energy with your teaching, and all the best to you.